Today, friends, we got our first look at the new Forza Horizon 5 car sounds, and I'm super excited. Of course, you can see right here. Unfortunately, they were speaking over it, and of course, I would probably be speaking. I would show you without, don't worry. But apparently, the unfiltered, untalking over video is coming soon. But without further ado, let me show you the car sounds for Forza Horizon 5 as per the stream.
Oh, here we go. Bit of deja vu here. You really hear that rasp coming through that we heard out on track.
Yeah, we won't need to encourage you to do this, but people will already go and grab all these clips and lay them over top of each other and realise that the Stratos we had on track really does sound exactly like the one.
That's what I'm going to be doing after the stream. It's going to be going back and seeing if I can get all the different sounds to be like, yes, you did do it, well done.
This one, I think, translated really well into the game. People around the studio have this car, so there's a lot of people who know exactly how it should
resonate with this one. Yeah. I think it's one of the things that, I mean, following last episode in which we were talking about the sky, and the sky being an actual image of the Mexican sky, and now knowing that these cars are the actual recorded, what I'm trying to say is art is quite literally imitating life in a game that is ridiculously fun to play, right?
We're trying to be as accurate and sort of, I guess, trying to portray real life as much as we possibly can, whilst making it fun for all the players to listen to. I love the sound of this GT.
The Huracan cover car from FH2.
The vibes coming off that right now with the fireworks in the background. Oh goodness, when is it? November 9th? Is it now, please?
This one was interesting because someone on the dev team actually has this in the car park, and every day he would come around and say, "Come and have a listen. Like, like make sure it sounds exactly like this."
Do some extra credit.
Yeah. These Ferraris sound really mean. And we got some really good Ferrari recordings in the game now. And of course the Dodge Viper, which I think a lot of people will be happy to see this featured here. Just a little snippet. And something interesting to point out here is I guess when you see this video after the stream, something to listen out for is all the different tyre sounds and all the different vehicles. We've now got different skid sounds based on the vehicle and the tyre size, so that if you're in a massive truck, you'll hear that, as well as, you know, skid tyres and drift tyres and stuff.
I should be polite that one waited for us to finish talking.
This one's...
So there we go. That is the car sounds so far. I want to pick out some of my favorites. Of course, I'm going to say straight away, the Huracan was beautiful. They finally got that a little bit more further detailed, more detail, if you know what I'm saying. And of course, the ZL1, the muscle cars in general, the Viper. Oh my God, sound incredible. And of course the Supra sound is here. I'm super interested to see what it's going to be like, because they do mention in this stream that as you modify the car, you'll actually be able to hear the sound differences. I'm going to show you that now.
We're in the player house in the normal upgrade flow, and you can go to your intake and hear, as you apply the different stock, street, race and sport performance modes, you can hear that actually change the sound of your car, an entirely different manufactured part. And then one thing, this is one of my favorite parts.
So it's kind of Need for Speed-esque. As you go through, you can rev the car, and as you put the parts on, the sound changes as you put these on, and the different turbos and supercharger noises and everything like that. They also confirm that as you play throughout the game, through the world, drive through the world, you will hear different sounds from other cars. So as they modify their cars, you'll be able to tell if that car has a turbo if that car has twin turbo, if that car has a supercharger, if that car has straight cut gears. They actually said there are 320 brand new car recordings added to this game, which, again, I need to dive in and really see exactly what that means, because does it mean 320 new cars, or does it mean 320 new sound files? Because that would be less impressive, considering the amount of microphones that they had on these cars, which, again, is rather impressive. They had a lot of them. They had a runway, they filmed, recorded a whole bunch of new cars. We actually got to see a bunch of the new cars that they got to film. Some of them sounded fantastic. And of course, some of the cult classics of Forza fans were in here, including the Morgan three-wheeler, which of course is always good to see because everybody loves a three-wheeler in Forza. People be crazy about them three-wheelers. But the fact is they've recorded multiple of the Supra, for example, and they had a stock one and a modified one. I imagine they actually showed it. A single turbo big spoolie boy compared to a stock one, and they said both sound fantastic, and that's great to hear. Of course, both sound fantastic. One's just a bit more muffled, and if anything, it'd be interesting to, I would love to sit down with sound people and really discuss this type of stuff, because I would love to know, what are they going to amplify the stock car sounds? Because the stock car sounds generally pretty dead, pretty dreary, especially on new cars. They make no noise whatsoever. So of course, when you modify them, that's when it's going to turn up the volume. And of course, for cars that you can't really modify, for example, a brand new car that just came out, say they added a Lamborghini, there are very limited modified Lamborghinis performance-wise in the UK, for example. So I would love to know how they're going to go about that. Are they just going to simulate it based on knowledge of other cars? Anyway, sound stuff, super cool. They actually went into detail to talk about the fact that car sounds now reverb off of buildings a lot better than they did. They have a brand new technology in the game to basically help assume where you are and relative to other things like buildings, tunnels, everything like that. So a lot more reverb is included in the game. In fact, they actually spoke about in convertibles, when you put the roof down, you can literally hear the difference between soft top being up, hard top being up, and the roof being down in all those vehicles. That is awesome. I am praying for an LC500 to be in the game and an LC500 convertible, because that would be amazing. And I would really love if you can put the roof down, if we could pull another thing from Test Drive Unlimited and basically add in the ability to bring the windows down. Can you imagine every tunnel rolling up in the cockpit view, put their windows down and listening to that reverb? That would be amazing. So maybe for cars that don't have convertible options, we should have the ability to put the windows down. That is something I'm really, really, really hoping for. But anyway, back to the reverbing noise. Of course, you can actually hear, based on where other people are, their reverb. So if you're playing a game where you basically hunt for other people, like one of the game modes, the playground games that they do, if they are revving their engine, or you can hear them very quietly moving around, you can hear the reverb kind of go up above the building, so you can hear it in its direction, if that makes sense. Kind of like how you expect to hear it on an FPS game. Now it's in a racing game, but of course that normally wouldn't have really mattered that much, because you're not going to be hunting people to shoot them down in a racing game. But now in this game, it is finally here, which it definitely makes sense considering the fact that there's those game modes like Infected. That's what I'm thinking of. Like game modes like Infected. That would be awesome, especially if you're playing like, well, with all the hood off and stuff. I just amazing. This is gonna be great. Another thing they actually told us about is that there is going to be better sound on the Series S and X. So there's going to be another reason to have it on that version of the console. Something that's super cool as well. When they actually showed the car in the garage revving and such, you can actually, ray tracing is enabled from the get-go. Anyway, back to the sound. So the audio is much closer to uncompressed audio on those platforms. I imagine it's going to be very similar on PC as well. Otherwise, it kind of wouldn't make sense. It has to be on PC too if it's on those consoles. Surely, right? Come on. They didn't confirm that, but I'm going to say it is. I'm going to take a wild guess. Anyway, for those that have no idea what the heck I'm talking about when I'm talking about uncompressed audio, it's not uncompressed, but it's closer to. Basically, it's higher quality audio. So that comes to car sounds, voices, everything in the game sound-wise. There's just an extra level of quality on top of that, which is just what you're looking for. beautiful. Like, you can hear the more definition between the audio. Now, don't get me wrong, there's going to be benefits if you have just a normal TV or something, but if you've got beastly headphones or something, you've spent money on audiophile quality headphones, you're going to get a crazy difference. I'm not talking about no poo-poo gaming headset or anything like that. I'm talking about like proper audiophile headphones. I imagine there's going to be a bigger difference in the game. At least that's what they're promising. So I'm gonna believe them because they're delivering on a lot of stuff so far. Super, super awesome indeed. But that's pretty much what they updated us on. Sounds they're getting the upgrade. That's good to know, and I wanted to give you the information first, but do look out on the Forza Horizon 5 channel because they are going to be, or the Forza channel, they are going to be releasing the just uncut sound so you can actually have a listen properly. I would recommend that. Be sure to smash like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, peace.